A woman suddenly realizes that the daughter-in-law in front of her might be an impostor. She clearly remembers that her real daughter-in-law had a noticeable red mark behind her ear, but after giving birth and being discharged from the hospital, that mark mysteriously disappeared. To test her suspicion, she deliberately buys a bouquet of flowers and brings them home. The previous daughter-in-law had a severe pollen allergy, but to her surprise, the current one smells the flowers without any reaction. When questioned, the daughter-in-law claims she didn't notice the flowers, but the explanation feels far-fetched. Still, the woman wonders if she might be overthinking things and decides to conduct a more certain test. While the daughter-in-law isn't paying attention, she secretly takes a strand of the baby's hair and sends it for a DNA test. Although the results will take 2 days, she doesn't want to alert anyone, so she continues observing quietly. Soon after, she notices the daughter-in-law putting adult and baby clothes together in the washing machine. Remembering how careful the real daughter-in-law used to be, she grows more suspicious. When the daughter-in-law lies that her husband washed the clothes, despite him having left early that morning, the woman becomes even more convinced something is wrong. When the son returns home, the daughter-in-law cries and complains about her mother-in-law. Instead of noticing anything unusual, the son defends his wife and blames his mother for being too harsh. Shocked that her son cannot recognize the difference, the woman decides to endure for now and wait for the test results. To pass the time, she goes to a mahjong parlor, but the daughter-in-law unexpectedly shows up with the baby and even brings her food, ignoring the baby's exposure to secondhand smoke. While others see her as a caring daughter-in-law, the older woman notices she holds the baby incorrectly and ignores the baby's cries. This strengthens her suspicion that the woman doesn't truly care about the child and may be after the family's wealth. Later, the son witnesses his mother scolding his wife and once again defends his wife, even questioning his mother's behavior. He recalls how kind and attentive his mother used to be during the pregnancy, but now she seems completely different. He assumes she might be going through menopause and comforts his wife, preparing to leave with her. At that moment, the daughter-in-law suddenly falls onto the mahjong table, ruining the game. Though she claims it was an accident, the older woman cannot tell whether it was intentional. That night, a mysterious package arrives at the house. Although it isn't addressed to them, the woman opens it and finds expensive perfumes, lipsticks, and handbags. With the baby's formula nearly finished and none replaced, this behavior seems unlike the real daughter-in-law, who was always frugal. The current daughter-in-law claims she just wants to treat herself after giving birth and even cries, saying she still cares about the baby. The older woman then questions her, pointing out that if she truly cared, she would have noticed a rash on the back of the baby's head. The daughter-in-law is left speechless. At that moment, the woman receives notice that the DNA test results are ready. She rushes to the hospital and confirms her suspicion: the baby and the daughter-in-law are not biologically related. Furious, she returns home with the report and confronts the woman, demanding to know where the real daughter-in-law is.